All right, welcome back to the Best Damn Training channel on YouTube. Today is a lower body day. We're gonna be doing some jumps. We're gonna do some heavy squats. We're gonna do some other lifting in here today. Couple things real quick. The jumps from today's session are what I was going to do yesterday. But after I got done with yesterday's sprints, I felt like it was a good session and I didn't know how much quality I was gonna get out of those jumps. So we're doing the seated broad jumps, single leg depth jumps, and the altitude drops today prior to doing any kind of our strength work. Then we're gonna move into the strength work today and have our normal Tuesday session. But disclaimer for today, I wanna apologize in advance for the lighting situation. They're doing construction out there with the expansion of some of the gym stuff that they're gonna do. And because of that, I think they're rewiring some things. So they cut the power in here. This is the only light that is working right now. The entire gym is dark. So I apologize for the lack of lighting that there may be in today's video. I'm not gonna know how this is gonna turn out until I get to the point where I'm editing it, but I got this space here, I got one light. I think I can get done what I need to get done and be able to show you guys in some sort of a quality video today. So that's gonna be the goal. Now, I've already done a few warm-up sets on the seated broad jump. We're gonna be doing 3 sets of 3 on this. Gonna be trying to push this box back a little bit and see how far we can jump. I don't have a tape measure with me though, so I'm just kind of be eyeballing it. I won't know where I'm at this week compared to the weeks previous, but the goal is to do 3 sets of hard 3 broad jumps from that seated position. Each of these red mats is 20 centimeters thick, so I'm at 60 centimeters on the box. I'm at 40 centimeters from the seated position, which is I think about 10 centimeters lower than what I normally am. So this is as close as I can get it to what I've been doing out at the track. And we're gonna do our seated broad jumps here. So set number 1, I would say this is probably like a 2-meter mark. I don't think this is super far right now, or at least it doesn't feel far for me. All right, set number 1 felt pretty good. We're gonna scoot this back a little bit. And we'll do set number 2 from a little bit further away. Oh, that one was a little scary. I don't know if I was gonna make it on that one. So we'll keep the box there. I feel like that's a good distance for these 3s. I felt like I did that little stutter and I questioned myself halfway in the air if I was gonna make it or not. But we did it. 2 sets down, 1 set left to go. And then we're gonna move on to single leg depth jumps. All right, next part up for today, 3 sets, 3 single leg depth jumps on each side. I'm gonna be landing, jumping off one leg, and then whatever foot is gonna be in contact with the ground, what I'm trying to do is pop off the ground as quickly and as high as I can, and I'm gonna land on the opposite side on top of this box here. So I've got a 40 centimeter drop onto a 60 centimeter box here. So we'll go right foot first, so land on right, pop up, land on top of the box with the left foot. And we'll move to the other side. Oh, that was an awful rep. I'm not counting that one. That was also a bad rep. This left side doesn't feel too good right now. Better? There we go. That was better. So 3 sets of that. But the next thing you guys are gonna see is the altitude drop that we're gonna work on next. You're also gonna see why I haven't been doing jumps on my lifting days, and I've been moving my jumps into my sprint sessions, because I normally will do like approach jumps onto a box, or I've been doing a lot of vertical orientation type jumps in my previous training programs. The gym that we used to be at prior to moving in here had much taller ceilings, and I would jump up to like 1 meter or even like 120 on some of my box jumps. The problem is when I start getting up to this meter mark, you can see my head now touches the ceiling. So this is an issue. Hopefully, I don't even know if I'm in frame right now, but we're gonna do our 3 sets of 3. Oh, that could have been bad. Good thing I'm an athlete. This motherfucker tried to end my life. Look at this. What is going on? Okay, well, that was essentially a single leg depth drop since I decided to land in almost like a superhero stance. Benefits of being an athlete is you can fall and not hurt yourself. Oh my God, man. That could have ended up really bad. Oh. Oh. All right, set number 1. Tried to end my life, but we're still here. We got 2 more sets. Set number 2, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this box has a little tear right here, and my toe got caught on that. That's why I almost fell straight onto my face. All right, I'm gonna do 1 more set of these, and then we're gonna move on to back squats to start today. Whew, all right. Back squats are gonna be the first thing for today. I took the snatches out because based on how the jumps were feeling, I just didn't feel like snatches were gonna be beneficial today. Don't feel like I've got that same pop and that same explosive power. I think yesterday's sprint session was a damn good session, but I think I'm a little bit fatigued, nervous system-wise from that sprint session yesterday. So we're gonna just move straight on into the strength work today. Back squats, first thing we're gonna do, build up to a 3-rep top set at like an 8 to 9 RPE. Then we're gonna drop the weight down and do a few more sets of 3 based on whatever that top set is gonna be today. We'll see how the fatigue level is, but I think back squats should feel pretty good because I'm not trying to be super explosive and powerful with these. I just gotta move the weight. You can grind through back squat sets a little bit easier than you can like grinding through snatch sets or grinding through some plyos and jumps like that. So I'm expecting these to be much better feeling than the first part of today's session. So last week, my top set of 3, I think was right around 200. Maybe it was 190. I don't remember exactly. I'll have to go back and look at it. But 8 to 9 RP for a set of 3. Should put me just above that 200 mark. So my jumps going up to about 180 are probably gonna be pretty high. Now I might just go 160, 180, 200. So I'm at 120 right now. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go 160. We'll hit this set of 3. Then we'll do 180, hitting a 3 there. Probably jump up to 2, do a double. And then we'll make a judgment call on what that top set probably is gonna end up being. I'm assuming it's gonna be somewhere between 210 to 220. 210 if things are feeling heavy, 220 if things are feeling really good. Got 180 kilos on the bar. Anytime I put 180 kilos on the bar, I get this stupid picture in my head of darts. I live in Iceland. People in Iceland love darts. It's like one of their top favorite things to do, especially when like the world championship of darts come on. It's on every TV, everywhere you go, they're obsessed with darts. I don't know why, I think darts is just boring. But because it's on TV everywhere, everyone's watching it. Anytime anybody hits like 3 triple 20s, the announcer's like 180. Every time I put 180 kilos on the bar, or I do anything with 180 kilos, or I hear the number 180, I just think of that guy just in the background, 180. And it's kind of annoying, to be honest. We're gonna squat this for a set of 3 here. Oh, that felt really good. All right, we're gonna throw 200 on the bar. I'm gonna do a double at 2 because I don't waste too much energy doing heavier sets of 3 here. So I'll do a double at 2, make a judgment call. But if it feels really good, I might just go straight to 220. If it feels kind of meh, I'll go to like 210 first and then do another double, or do a set where it's like I'll do 2. If I know 3's there, then I'll rack it and do a little bit heavier. Or if I feel like it's a struggle, then I'll just do my top set at 210. But we'll throw on 200 and we'll start feeling out what the top end's gonna be today. Woo. Woo. Oh, that was smooth. All right, now comes the contemplation. 2 for a double felt good. I think I'm gonna do 210 just to be conservative here. I think 220 is there today, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do that same double at 210. If it feels really good, like I know I got 2 extra reps in me, then we'll jump it up to 220 and we'll do our triple at 220. If it feels like it's a struggle, then I'll just knock out that 3rd rep at 210 and that'll most likely end up being my top set. All right, 210. We're gonna do the double, possible triple type set here. Ooh. Ooh. All right, I got 3 there, no problem. We're gonna go to 220 and we're gonna do our top triple on that one. All right, I hit 220 for a very, I wouldn't say very, but I hit 220 for an easy triple. I'm counting that as an RPE 8. The problem is the camera died on the battery, but luckily I had my phone going, so I have a little backup on that. So I'll show you guys that here real quick. My top set at 220. That felt surprisingly easy. And then we're going to drop the weight down here and do some working sets on probably about 85% of this top end number. And we'll do some sets of 3 on that as well. All right, back off sets are at 185. Gonna do 3 to 4 sets of 3 here. These, I don't care if they get a little bit grindy. So if I have to push through those last couple of sets, it's fine. Legs are feeling pretty good though. That top set of 220 didn't take too much out of me. It actually felt really smooth. So my best ever top set of 3 was 250 kilos, which I did when I lived at the Olympic Training Center. It became the record for the back squat in the Olympic Training Center until one of my teammates got real petty and decided to do 251 one day. But so it's the 2nd best all-time squat. That 250 felt really good. Like on that day, I probably had 260 in me to do a triple, but I just built up to 250. It was the #1 spot on the board at the time, so I called it quits. Based on how 220 felt right now, I think with a good week of training, a good rest weekend, and getting back into it Monday, Tuesday next week, I think I could probably get somewhere around like a 240 or a 230 at least on the top end number. So we'll be close to my all-time best top triple at that 250 mark. Pretty promising type stuff so far on this program. I'm really enjoying this strength block, doing 3s and 4s versus the previous block doing 8s and 10s. We got the lights back on, boys. They must be done doing whatever it is they were doing. The light has returned. My working sets for my back squats are gonna be my working sets for the RDLs. I think I did the same thing last week. My working sets were like 160, 165-ish. And I did my sets of 4 or 5 that I was doing on that. I dropped the bar and I just started doing that same weight as my working sets. So I'm gonna try to do the same thing today. I wanted to go really heavy for this next few week period on doing my RDLs since it is a strength block. So I'm pushing these numbers a little bit toward the extreme and not being so conservative on it. But if I overshoot my accessory stuff, it's not a big deal. It's not gonna create a tremendous amount more fatigue than I originally planned when I designed the week. If anything, might just have a little bit of soreness in the hamstrings tomorrow or the next day. But because this is week 2, I'm not expecting that soreness to actually be a factor throughout the rest of the week. So we're gonna load these up. I'm gonna try to do a set of 6 here at 185, which would be a pretty damn heavy set on some RDLs. Oh, this is gonna be hard, but we're gonna do it. All right, one more heavy set of the RDLs. 185 is rough. We got the 6 reps done on the first rep. We're gonna do the 6 reps on the next one here. I went and put the belt back on. Did that first set without a belt. So put the belt back on for this second one. I don't know why, just maybe it's giving me peace of mind because this is feeling heavy. Oh boy, those felt amazing. I'm gonna have some strong hamstrings and a strong ass back once this program is done. All right, so low box coming up again. We'll put a couple of those rubber mats on top of it. We'll load up the trap bar, probably be at like 110 on the trap bar. We'll do our sets of like 8 to 10 reps on each leg. For the step ups, do a couple sets on that. And then we'll finish off a little bit with some core work today as well. All right, 110 kilos. This trap bar is 25 kilos. So with the reds, the yellows, and the collars, that brings me up to 110 on the bar. I'll tell you what, I was making fun of Aleco for over-engineering that barbell picker-upper. I love this trap bar though. They definitely over-engineered this, but they over-engineered it to perfection. Having this open end, plus having the ability to kind of like lift this up so you can take the bars, or so you can take the plates on and off really easily, makes this barbell probably the best trap bar I've ever used. Having this open end stuff allows you to do the step ups and things like that and not have to worry about banging your knee on the bar. You can put this part behind you, you can put it in front of you, whatever you want to do. It's an amazing bar to have. An open trap bar like this is elite. But I'm gonna do probably 8 on each side. So try to just rep these out. Quality reps here, 8 reps on one side, 8 reps on the other. And again, we're gonna do 2 sets on that. And I got a new variation of ab wheels that I'm gonna try to do today. Make them a little bit more difficult than what I've been doing for the past 5 weeks or so. All right, core variation I'm doing today with the ab wheel is gonna be from a standing position versus using the elevated surface and kneeling on that. I'm gonna go from a standing position, roll myself out as far as I can, Then I'm gonna drop my knees down to the ground and bring myself back as if I was doing a normal ab wheel. So what you see most people doing ab wheels with is knees on the ground, roll out, bring yourself back. That's what I've been doing off of the mats there. Now I'm gonna be progressing this a little bit, challenging that position a little bit more, really controlling the eccentric, getting into that lengthened position as much as I can and trying to stay disciplined and not just kind of falling into this position. Then I'll drop my knees down, get myself into a position that allows me to bring myself back to the starting position at a much easier rate. A good way to kind of describe this would be like, this is almost like an eccentric only Nordic, how you're holding that position, you're trying to fall yourself down, and then you're pushing yourself back up. We're gonna be trying to hold that position as we bring ourselves down, drop the knees and pull ourselves back to the beginning. So I got this mat here just so I don't have to put my knees down on the wood. What I'm gonna do is start with the wheel next to my feet, bring this position all the way out, drop the knees down, and then pull myself back to the start. One more. That is rough, but I love it. This is that type of movement that's gonna make it hard to laugh for the next couple days. I'm gonna do one more set of those. That's gonna be it for today's video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.